So the network understood the subject matter. You were probably the last guy in the world that they wanted to fire because you were the guy that the ratings and the revenues were built on. You carried that network on your shoulders for a lot of years. So doesn't it seem safe to assume that the people at Fox News were given a piece of information or given some evidence that simply made it impossible for you to stay on at Fox News?
Good morning. Breaking news overnight. Matt Lauer has been terminated from NBC News. Our chairman has released a statement saying a colleague had come forward reporting behavior in violation of our company's standards. We'll have more ahead.
From NBC News, this is Today, live from Studio 1A in Rockefeller Plaza.
And good morning, everybody. Welcome to Today. And Hoda's here with me this morning because this is a sad morning here at Today and at NBC News.
But there isn't any
But you don't let your number one guy go unless you have information that you think makes him...
That's not true. There are billions of dollars at stake in business deals, and they made a business decision that they could, possibly prosper more without me. It was as simple as that. It was a business decision.
Did you ever send a lewd text or email to another employee at Fox News?
No.
Did you ever have any human resources cases brought against you?
Not in 42 years.
As a result, we have decided to terminate his employment. While it is the first complaint about his behavior in the over 20 years he has been at NBC News, we were also presented with reason to believe this may not have been an isolated incident.
The New York Times.
Wait. In 42 years, all right, I've been in this business. I've worked for 12 companies. Not one time did I have any interaction with HR, any complaints filed against me.
The New York Times reported that up to 5 women had come forward over the years and complained about sexual harassment at your hands.
The news came out just 2 hours ago, and now CNN is reporting NBC News has known for weeks that Lauer was being investigated by the New York Times and Variety. A report about inappropriate sexual behavior was made by an employee. A memo sent out this morning says it was the first complaint about his behavior in the workplace. But NBC had reason to believe this was not an isolated incident.
But were you aware of those 5 women?
I was aware, sure.
And so why didn't you sue those women if you say you did absolutely nothing wrong?
Because you can't win those lawsuits. If you're a public figure, you cannot win them. Every allegation is a conviction. Every allegation in this area is a conviction. They don't look for the truth.
But think about those 5 women and what they did. They came forward and filed complaints against the biggest star at the network they worked at. Think of how intimidating that must have been, how nerve-wracking that must have been. Doesn't that tell you how strongly they felt about the way they were treated by you?
Well, it's not just me.
What's she saying about me?
She's not going to be on your show talking about it?
I don't know.
Excuse me, I feel a little
All right.
Are you okay?
I am not okay.
Some say he groped them or exposed himself to them, and many paint a picture of a respected figure abusing his position.
And we just learned this moments ago, just this morning. As I'm sure you can imagine, we are devastated and we are still processing all of this. And I will tell you right now, we do not know more than what I just shared with you. But we will be covering this story as reporters, as journalists. I'm sure we will be learning more details in the hours and days to come. And we promise we will share that with you. And Hoda, I mean, for the moment, all we can say is that we are heartbroken.
During commercial breaks, Savannah and Hoda were photographed through the windows consoling each other.
And I'm really struggling because how do you wrap your brain around that? I'm really grappling with that. To be very honest with you, I'm still trying to process all of this.
We would turn now to Al. Good morning.
Yeah, still dealing with the news of a friend of 30 years, and we're all trying to process it. We'll deal with it, and along with you folks as well.
And then it was to the weather.
Yeah.
I saw the news and woke up to the news like everyone this morning, just in shock. The Today Show, of course, has been my family for 16 years now, and it is difficult. I think everybody's saying how difficult it is to process the news. I have personally dealt with rumors in the past for years that were hurtful to me, to my family. They diminish my hard work. I've addressed those rumors head on in the past. That is not the story today. Rumors in the past for years that were hurtful to me, to my family. They diminish my hard work. I've addressed those rumors head on in the past. That is not the story today, Kit. It is about the courage. The story today is the courage of a colleague who did come forward. And when and if she wants to tell her story publicly, I'm sure she will. But it did take a lot of courage for her to come forward. It was no doubt a very painful decision.
I mean, I gotta say, I think it's awkward to watch a woman have to go on the air and break that news and express grief and heartbreak, and then have all these tragic, horrifying details come out later. I don't know why they put her in that position. To see all these women have to clean up the mess after these men, I think is awkward and could be handled in a much better way, because everyone's going to go back and look at that tape and say, well, why was she heartbroken? Was she in love? It puts her in a very bad position.
Now they have to deal with not just the fact that he is out of the show, but the fact that he was a guy that the audience sort of trusted and turned to, and it's more than just a scandal. It's like a betrayal.
And grilling Bill O'Reilly on something which, according to the accusers, he himself was engaged.
We rewatched it, and we said the same exact thing to each other, that we just couldn't believe what we were hearing from him. And then, as of course the sexual harassment scandal has been unfolding with many men in Hollywood, in the industry, we've been watching the Today Show. As we know, we've been doing our reporting, and we've been talking to each other and saying, how can he sit there and talk about this knowing what he's done?
There were stories of women who would disappear from the staff or would leave under mysterious circumstances. The idea that the other women that worked with him, and he got along with every other co-host and anchor at the Today Show, and they weren't aware, that is not true. So according to our reporting...
Like Savannah and those people were aware of it?
I don't want to name names, but according to our reporting, other women and other anchors, we may not know as viewers on TV, but according to our reporting and according to the staff of Today, were aware that he was engaging in this kind of behavior.
Look, Matt, I'm living my life. And I feel, I feel fortunate,
Were you made personally?
My job is to protect this country, Matt, and I'm going to, within the law. And it gets second-guessed all the time by people who don't live in the United States. But let me remind you, September the 11th for them was a bad day. For us, it was a change of attitude.
I would have given anything to get to the end of the story and have it be someone else, but it was about me. I'm sorry.
But wait, so you say, I was not trying to mislead people, but I need to make sure we understand each other here. Did you know when you went on nightly news that you were telling a story that was not true?
No. It came from a bad place.
Become unsustainable.
Kelly,
and General Flynn.
That makes no sense. Last month, the Justice Department.
Hathaway, good morning. Nice to see you.
Morning, Matt.
Seen a lot of you lately.
Sorry about that.
You were.
I'd be happy to stay home, but the film.
Let's just get it out of the way. You had a little wardrobe malfunction the other night. What's the lesson learned from something like that, other than that you keep smiling, which you always do?
Well.
Prior to going on the red carpet. You dropped a condom.
on the red carpet, which I think gives you at least...
It was really hard for you to say.
No, it wasn't actually.
Yes, it
no,
was.
I think gives you credit. I mean, you know, better to be safe than sorry, right?
It's a great message to add to the many messages in the film.
Exactly right.
Matt, you don't even, you're glib. You don't even know what Ritalin is. If you start talking about chemical imbalance, you have to evaluate and read the research papers on how they came up with these theories, Matt. Okay? That's what I've done.
The word judgment has been used a lot around you, Secretary Clinton, over the last year and a half, and in particular concerning your use of your personal email and server. You mentioned you're in Pakistan. Some of the emails you sent and received happened while you were overseas, and Director Comey also said that while they have no proof, we assess that it is possible that hostile actors gained access to Secretary Clinton's personal email accounts.
Matt, there is no evidence. Of course, anything is possible. But what is factual is the State Department system was hacked.
In and around this perplexing and difficult time, I dazedly chose or hired the companionship of unsavory and insipid types. I'm imagining prostitutes. Regardless of their saltless reputations, I always led with condoms and honesty when it came to my condition.
So the decision to be here this morning, something you went over with your wife Silda and your daughters?
Absolutely.
They had a say in this?
This is something that has caused excruciating pain to Silda, to my daughters, something that I carry with me every day because of the pain to them.
Because of your reputation, because of the fact that you were a man who had enemies, you had to consider at some point down the road that somebody was going to say something to someone else, and you were going to get caught.
Right. Right.
That crossed your mind?
It crossed my mind, but like many things in life, you ignore the obvious at a certain moment because you simply don't want to confront it.
QVC has not dropped me.
They say they're weighing their options.
Well, and I said, Jack, honey, you got Guinea in trouble with Mommy and Daddy when you told them that I had let you stay up late. And he was playing with my iPad, and he put that iPad down, and he looked up at me and he said, Guinea, I don't tell lies.
I'm just asking you, when you look at his face, what would you say to him?
I mean, pre-looking at his face, I came up here because I wanted to say something to him right after the fact. And I don't need all the jazz. Can we be quiet for a second? I didn't have the grounds to call him a racist.
And you're sorry?
Yeah, I'm sorry for... Yeah, I'm sorry for...
And you're sorry? I think I get the point. People look at you and they say, here was the highest elected official in the state of New York, but there's more. Here is a guy who had almost an Elliot Ness type reputation. He went after abuses of power. He went after the high and mighty. How could he have allowed himself to be involved in a prostitution scandal?
Matt, like most of us, I suppose, I won't speak for anybody else, have flaws.